Hello children, this is Trinity Academy Metric Higher Secondary School. I am T. Mahalakshmi. How are you children? Hope you all are fine. Today I am going to teach history for class 6. Now lesson 1, what is history? Now tell me, what is history? History is the study of past events in chronological order. History is the study of past events in chronological order. Okay, what is mean by chronological order? What is mean by chronological order? Chronological order means in order of time from earliest to latest. You have to order the events according to the year wise. Okay, for example, in your class, think that one boy is there, his name is Rajesh. So, his date of birth is 8/8/2010. He joined first standard in 2015, second in 2016, third in 2017, fourth 2018 and fifth in 2019. Okay. So, the events taken place from 2010 to 19. So, we should arrange the years in an order. This is known as chronological order. Okay. Time in history is calculated. Next we can see the time. Time in history is calculated in years using BCE and CE, which stands for before common era and common era. That means towards the right side is a common era and this one is a before common era. Okay. Now the term history is derived from the Greek word historia, which means learning with inquiry. The term history is derived from the Greek word historia, means learning with inquiry. Herodotus is the father of history. Herodotus is the father of history. History can be classified into 4 types. History can be classified into 4 types, that is Paleolithic age, Old Stone Age, Neolithic age, New Stone Age, Bronze Age and Iron Age. Now let us see some major excavated sites of India according to the age. First we can see the site of Old Stone Age, that is Paleolithic age, Old Stone Age people. This is the Old Stone Age. Next one, Neolithic age, that is New Stone Age. People grow their own food. People were no longer nomads, still needed stone tools. This is a New Stone Age. Next, Bronze Age. The third one is the Bronze Age. So, better than Stone Age, what was so good about Bronze Age? Nothing, they used the metals. Next one is Iron Age. And the last one is Iron Age. So, you saw Old Stone Age, New Stone Age, Bronze Age and Iron Age. Now, let us see the major excavated sites of India according to the age. First, we can see the Old Stone Age, that is Atirampakam, Bhimbetka and Hansagi Valley. Next one is New Stone Age, that is Neolithic age. Barzahum, next Mehergarh, Koldiva, Chiran, Mahagara, Daojali heading, Brahmagiri and Payampalli. These are all the sites of New Stone Age. Next is the Bronze Age. Bronze Age is Lothal. Next one is Lothal and Adichanallur. And the last one is Iron Age. Iron Age, only one place is in India, that is Hallur. Next we can study the history with the help of evidences or sources. That means the things they used and which are excavated by us. Thus we can classify the sources in 2 types. Archaeological sources, literary sources. First we can see the archaeological sources. Archaeological sources can be classified into 4 main parts. Archaeological sources can be divided into 4 parts, that is artifacts, monuments, inscriptions and coins. Okay, what is mean by artifacts? An object made by human beings. An object made by human beings, typically one of culture or historical interest. Next, what is mean by monuments? Something erected in memory of a person. Something erected in a memory of a person, event, etc. as a building, pillar, statue, etc. Next, what is inscription? What is inscription? A marking or wording on a stone or a coins. A marking on or a wording on a stone or coins are known as inscriptions. Okay, now we can see the what is the artifacts. So artifacts include potteries, toys, tools, ornaments. Artifacts includes potteries, toys, tools, ornaments. Monuments includes palaces. Palaces means, I will give you one example for palaces, that is Tirumalai Naikar Mahal. Tirumalai Naikar Mahal. Next one is for fort. Example for fort is Vellore Fort. Temples. Temple, one example I can give you the Tanjavur Brihadishwar Temple. Next, stupas. Stupas, that is Sanchi Stupa. And monastery is Tabang Monastery, which is situated in Arunachal Pradesh. Next we can see the inscriptions. Inscriptions include rock edicts, temple wall, metal pillar, copper plates. Inscription includes rock edict, temple wall, metal pillar and copper plates. Next one is coins. You know about the coins. Okay, now we can see the literary sources. Literary sources can be classified into two, religious literature and secular literature. And again religious literature can be classified into two, that is epic and devotional. So epic means Ramayana, Mahabharata. Devotional means Devaram, the book, Devaram, Nalayira Divya Prabandham and Tiruvasagam. Next one, secular literature. Secular literature can be classified into four, that is epics and poems, accounts of foreign travelers, that is Yuan Sang and all. And next one is works of Indian authors. Indian authors. This one epics means Shakuntala. Kalidasa wrote a drama, that is Shakuntala. Next, works of Indian author and the folk songs and ballads. Okay. The study of inscription is known as epigraphy and the study of coins is known as numismatics. Okay. These sources tell us about the period, the king who ruled and the culture of the people, etc. The old Stone Age men lived mostly in caves. They used to draw paintings in rocks called rock paintings. They might have wished to record their activities through these paintings. Dog was the first animal tamed by the old Stone Age people. They domesticated dogs for their protection and hunting activities. The period between use of first stone tools and the invention of writing system is prehistory. Again, the period between the use of first stone tool and the invention of writing system is prehistory. Stone tools, excavated materials and rock paintings are the major sources of prehistory. Stone tools, excavated materials and rock paintings are the major sources of prehistory. The period between prehistory and history is called protohistory. The period between prehistory and history is called protohistory. Now let us see about the mighty king Ashoka. The most famous ruler of ancient India was Emperor Ashoka. Ashoka gave up war after seeing many people grieving death after the Kalinga war. He embraced Buddhism and then devoted his life to spread the message of peace and dharma. He was the first ruler to give up the war after victory. He was the first to build hospital for animals. He was the first to lay roads. Ashok Chakra with 24 spokes in our national flag was taken from Sarnath pillar of Ashoka. Even though Emperor Ashoka was great, his greatness has been unknown until 19th century. The material evidence provided by William Jones, James Prinsep and Alexander Cunningham revealed the greatness of Emperor Ashoka. Based on these accounts, Charles Allen wrote a book titled The Search of India's Lost Emperor. Charles Allen wrote a book titled The Search for the India's Lost Emperor, which provided a comprehensive account of Ashoka. The inscriptions were observed on the rocks that is Sanchi Stupa and Sarnath Pillar, and helped to understand the greatness of Ashoka to the world. The material used by the ancient people are preserved in museums, by the archaeological department. Okay, children. Now, I'll recall all the points, main points. Okay, children. Now we can just recall the main points. The lifestyle of prehistoric people can be understood from the stone tools, rock paintings, fossils and other excavated materials. The lifestyle of prehistoric people can be understood from the stone tools, rock paintings, fossils and other excavated materials. Protohistory is the period between prehistory and history. Protohistory is the period between prehistory and history. Early humans domesticated dogs for their protection and hunting activities. Early humans domesticated dogs for their protection and hunting activities. Mighty Emperor Ashoka followed the path of peace and dharma. Mighty Emperor Ashoka followed the path of peace and dharma. Ashok Chakra with 24 spokes in our national flag was taken from Sarnath pillar of Ashoka. Ashok Chakra with 24 spokes in our national flag was taken from Sarnath pillar of Ashoka. Okay, children, we will meet you again with a new topic. Be active and keep watching. Thank you.